Bully. The only game that could ever change your stance on bullying to a positive one. In this game, you play as Jimmy Hopkins, a 15-year-old kid with questionable behavior and even worse parents. We start the game off by getting dropped off in front of what's definitely not the worst school in the country. I immediately get greeted by some weird crazy lady and make my way inside. But almost instantly I get in a fight with some guys who wanted to beat my ass and I humiliate them. Then I finally go inside the school and make my way into the principal's office. The principal instantly recognizes me as the baddest boy in the school and proceeds to name every crime I ever committed.
Vandalism, graffiti, bad language, violent conduct, disrespecting staff. Oh, I'm scared of you, Hopkins.
Come on, give me a break.
He also makes a point of keeping my nose clean, or he shall clean it himself, whatever that means. Ignoring his advice, I get into another fight very quickly, and before making it to my dorm, I get attacked by some bullies. It turns out to be a 1v1, so I humiliate him with ease. But while celebrating my victory, I get charged by some big gorilla who wants to take revenge on me for beating his friend up. But thankfully a prefect stopped the fight just in time. When I get to the dorm, I get greeted by this Gary Smith guy. Although Jimmy didn't like him, he eventually convinces him to become friends with him. Then, for some reason, he teaches me how to use the vending machine, and I go to my room to change into my uniform. Right after, I get approached by this Pete guy. Then Gary comes in and starts making fun of both of us. Turns out, his problem is ADHD, his parents, this school, Western civilization, and of course, medication. So obviously we follow him into the school and up to the gorilla's locker and totally not bribe him into putting all of this behind us. Afterwards though, we go and pick his locker and steal all his stuff. A prefect sees us and I run away hiding in a nearby trash can. Then I go find Gary again, and we find a beached whale coming out of the bathroom. Turns out some guy took her chocolate, and after finding him, he willingly gave us the chocolate and we returned it to her. Her and Jimmy then go to town and make the most disgusting noises imaginable. Clearly she wasn't done though, as she keeps running after me wanting some more. Then we go to the cafeteria and we get introduced to the nerds, the preps, the greasers, and the jocks. Right after, the first class starts and it's chemistry. I managed to cook so hard, even Walter White would be jealous. Passing with ease. Unlocking the firecrackers, which I totally do not use to murder anybody. I then get confronted by the principal for fighting, as he acts like this place is heaven on earth. Turns out another one of those guys was listening and attacks me. I chase him all the way to the auto shop, where I completely ignore one of his guys trying to fight me, but as I try to open the second gate, I had to fight back and kick their asses. After opening that gate and beating another dumbass, I come outside and beat another two pussies and start the fight with Davis. I throw a brick at him and some bin lids, and he goes down with ease, passing the mission and earning myself the slingshot. Right after I get caught by a prefect for skipping class, but I headbutt him and run away. Next we walk on Gary bullying PT again, and he convinces us to use our slingshot on some old school bus windows. Then we go to the football field, climb up a tree, and start shooting the players with our slingshot. I make sure to get every single one of them, as their coach yells at them for laying on the ground knocked out. At this point it was getting late, so I went back to my dorm and went to sleep. In the morning I used the chemistry set in my room to make some more firecrackers, and then went to art class. Unfortunately I didn't know I could only mow on the lines, so I failed art class just like a certain mustache man. Later I found Gary manipulating the shit out of PT again, and then we decided to go bully some homeless man on the school campus. The homeless man scared the shit out of us and threw a brick at Gary, so they bailed. But I stayed. The old man ended up liking me and asked me if I had any booze.
Oh, I'm 15.
What about drugs?
No!
He told me that if I got a transistor for his radio, that he would teach me some special army fighting moves. So I went to the auto shop again and climbed the ladder and found the transistor. After giving it to him, he taught me a new move, the uppercut, a powerful punch that takes some time to load up. Then I rushed my way to gym class, where I had to wrestle this sweaty tub of lard. Needless to say, I beat Fatty up without a problem and learned some new fighting moves as well. Then I found one of the nerds in the library, who was obviously scared of me. He wanted me to help him get to his locker because he was a little bitch. which Jimmy refused at first, but then Nerdy offered to pay him, so it worked out pretty well. Of course, damn near everybody in the school wanted to beat him up, so I had to protect him against some bullies. So anyway, I beat them up, and then Weak Bladder had to go to the bathroom, so I waited for him there. Of course, more bullies came, and I kicked the shit out of them as well. Obviously, Mama's boy didn't forget to wash his hands, and then we went to his locker. He paid me, and business was concluded. For no particularly creepy reason, I went to check out the girl's dorm, where I found some girl bullying a nerd. She went on to call me a creep, but I was unfazed by her provocation. The nerdy girl wanted me to get her lab notes back and offered to kiss Jimmy.
Uncle, I'll kiss you.
Ugh.
On my way out, I met Gary, who wanted me to put a sting bomb in her locker. So I met up with Fatty and got the sting bomb. After entering the girl's locker room, I got chased by prefects and I managed to hide in a trash can and picked Vok. Then I returned the lab notes to Beatrice, and Jimmy actually kissed her. Afterwards, I went straight to sleep. In the morning, PT gave me a package that he wanted delivered to Beatrice, which I did and earned some big bucks. Back in the dorm, Gary was bullying PT again, unsurprisingly. And then P-Stain came in. He wanted me to save his friend Bucky, who went to the auto shop and hasn't come back. Why didn't he go himself?
I've got homework. Okay, I'm frightened. And I've got a weak bladder.
Gary didn't end up going because he had planning to do, aka bullying PT, so I went to the auto shop and beat some guys up. Then we were going to the auto shop to get the parts he needed, and there were even more of them, so I beat them up using their baseball bats, got the parts he needed, and beat a few more guys on the way out. Then as I was unable to open the gate, the old homeless guy came and opened it for us. What a nice fella. With the help I unlocked a skateboard, which I could use to get around school faster. Biology was coming up, so I made my way there, and proceeded by crucifying a frog, cutting it open, and removing its vital organs. The noises were disgusting, and no, I'm not going to show them. Then I had a mission in the hallway, but I got attacked by some guy. Obviously I was kicking the shit out of him, but I got stopped by a prefect. I hit him in the balls, but another one came and busted me. I was transferred to the principal's office and gave him my last and only warning. Music class started, so I played a banger and passed. Then I found Ernest putting a poster up as he was running for class president, but he was getting picked on by the jocks, who tore his poster up and gave him a wedgie. He wanted me to vote for him, but there was simply no way. After he offered money though, Jimmy changed his mind quickly. Ernest got an idea of me being his security manager, and he was willing to pay me a lot, so I agreed. This included me shooting at some bullies with a super slingshot during Ernest's speech. Seriously, there was a lot of these guys, and Ernest almost died, but I managed to get through it and got paid $10 for it. Put in a fight in front of the school, and when I got to the dorm, Gary was laying in my bed, dressed as, this. Why? Because it was Halloween, and there were no teachers or prefects around, so we went around causing chaos. I egged a couple of students, lighted a Volcano 4000 next to the nerds, and hit some students with sting bombs. But then it was time. Time for the big prank. The idea was to catch somebody's dog and feed him some rancid meat. And the first time, instead of beating the guy who was attacking Gary, I accidentally knocked Gary the fuck out. But the second time I beat him up, and we fed the dog the meat. Then the dog shat himself and we collected the trophy. Then we went inside the school, into the teacher's lounge. We replaced the bag of shit, lit it on fire, and then we pulled the fire alarm. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, like and subscribe. I'll see you in a week.
Oh, God, Sam! It's a nice one, really.